everyone, hope you're well. We recently investigated some haunted ruins a few miles from Shrewsbury in England. The ruins were of a medieval monastery thought to have been founded in the early 12th century and closely associated with the FitzAlan family. In its time, it was a substantial, successful and wealthy house for almost 4 centuries. The buildings fell into disrepair and its church was largely destroyed, although some of the domestic buildings remain impressive. We decided to have a walk through and have a look through the site and investigate it further. The first William FitzAlan was buried in a nearby abbey, but subsequent heads of the family were buried at this abbey for over 150 years. The abbey was said to be generally well run, and after the mid-14th century there were never more than 13 canons, although the size of the building suggests numbers were considerably greater in earlier centuries. It was expected that those that lived there observed strict protocols with regards to contact with the outside world, travelling, and also they were never allowed to sleep alone. Ooh la la. In addition to the canons, in the early years there were also volunteers that helped with the work of the abbey, as well as numerous paid officials and servants on the premises. The abbey built up a collection of books large enough to need a separate accommodation. As it is documented, Abbot Richard Pontesbury complained in 1518 that the library was in need of repair. In the 14th century, a number of figures were carved on the archways of the entrance to the church and at the entrance of the chapter house. We decided to set up a static camera in the interior of the chapter house. that houses an octagonal font from the original church. It has a medieval timber ceiling and also contains some tombs. We wanted to see if we could make any contact or capture anything potentially paranormal.
Is there anybody here that'd like to talk to us?
Just little ones, sure.
It's beeping.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going in the red.
Oh, it's going in the red now.
Oh, it just spoke.
Did it speak?
Yeah,
Yep.
twice. What did it say?
Oh my god, that is really peaking.
What did the word say?
Vast and train.
Train and fast. It is, isn't it, Kathleen? Oh, yeah, Bob.
Train. Is there any trains around here? After watching the video back, did all this happen at once? First we heard a moan, then it looked like a light anomaly or a small orb, and then just after, the ovula spoke. Is this a coincidence? I can't say.
Oh, it just spoke.
Did it speak?
Yeah,
Yep.
twice. Oh, it just spoke.
Did it speak?
Yeah,
Yep.
twice.
Okay, reviewing the footage here. Look at me. I felt like something was on me, like bugs, or I just was so agitated and trying to get it off me. And as you see, is it camera glare? What goes along the wall? Some lights. But look what comes out from underneath my elbow. Can anyone explain this to me? Because I have not got a clue. It's just, as you can see, I felt something was on me.
After investigating the abbey, we decided to move on to another location, some castle ruins, which were about 15 miles away from the abbey. The castle was first established in 1100 by the Torrits, a family of Saxon descent. It was passed by marriage after 1239 into the hands of the Corbetts. The first buildings were probably entirely made of timber, and from about 1200 these were gradually replaced by stone. Sir Andrew Corbett erected a two-storey tower and gatehouse in 1579. His eldest son Robert then inherited the castle. The ruins are from two different eras, a medieval stronghold and an Elizabethan manor house. Robert died of the plague in 1583, and his brothers Richard and Vincent inherited the castle. During the Civil War, the house was damaged and the buildings were later repaired and reoccupied. In the 18th century, the castle was abandoned and soon became roofless. The Corbett family still owns the castle today, and it's managed by the English Heritage. The manor house was built on the site of the castle in the late 15th century by Robert Corbett. He was succeeded by Sir Vincent Corbett, who continued to live there during the reign of King James I. One day, A local Puritan and neighbour, Paul Holmyard, took sanctuary in the manor house. But it got too much, and Sir Vincent decided that he could no longer stay there, and so he had to leave. He ended up trying to survive in the local woods eating just berries, but one day decided he'd had enough and wanted to return and face the Corbett family. He put a curse on the building and on the family, and the curse said that they could never use any kind of building or continue the building again. Vincent and his son were afraid of the curse and never lived at the house again because of their fear. It is said that Paul still stalks the empty walls, making sure no more building goes on. When we arrived at the castle, we had a good look around the location and then conducted an investigation.
I told you.
Are you serious? You're allowed to go in there? Okay, bear with me because I've not looked down here, guys. I don't know how dark it is.
My God.
Go on. Oh, it's really low, isn't it? It's just about perfect for my height. There's no rats in here.
Oh, you need to put the light on.
Put the lights on in it. I can see, but yeah.
Oh, you can see?
Yeah.
Well, I can see better than me.
Yeah, but put it. I can do it on a little bit, but not too bright. We're in like the underground bit now, as you can probably tell from my voice. Sorry about the boring image, I'm just putting the light on with Chris every 1 minute.
That's in it.
Is it groove?
It is in the groove. That's really damp.
How's this filming for our YouTube channel? Our new cameraman?
We need to do, what do you reckon this was?
I don't know, but I've got some stuff at home around the history of all of this, so I can look it up and make sure we can put it on the YouTube.
Well, maybe we should do something in here.
I am Melissa, yeah.
What do you think?
Definitely, why not? Let's do a spirit box session in here, or an EVP.
So, we decided to go down in the dungeon for small people. Yes, that's right. Jane was okay. So we decided to do an EVP session, and I got my rod out, my REM pod. I got my REM pod out to see if we could get anything.
Putting it down. Take your wow. Meat store, yeah, probably. You're right, Maxine. Let me shut this meat store to some of this stuff. I'm going to turn you off for me now.
It's pretty quiet, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah. Go for it. You have to bend over.
He's like 7 foot.
I can stand full size, because I'm only 5'1".
He's like this.
I reckon, how low is this? About 5'3", 5 foot. So probably about 5'3" in height. I'm well good. Come on, we're all brace ourselves for a nice EVP session.
Is there any spirits down here? Or is anybody down here would like to talk to us? Can you see what I'm holding in my hand? Try and talk to this thing, this device I'm holding in my hand. Did you used to live here? Did you work here?
Sorry.
Come and say hello. Tell us your name. Do you have a story?
I thought I heard a door bang.
I heard a slam.
The ghost of Paul might be in here.
Paul.
I'll tell you something. There's a lot of midges in here.
Is there any spirits down there? Or is anybody down there? Would like to talk to us? Am I hearing footsteps? Can you see what I'm holding in my hand?
Yes.
Yeah, like footsteps.
Yes.
I mean, it might be residual. Holding him. Would like to talk to us. Can you see what I'm holding in my hand?
Carrie will help you, Desiree.
You hear him?
Yep.
Try and talk to this thing, this device I'm holding in my hand. Did you used to live here? Did you work here?
That was the door slam. Oh no, that's me.
Come and say hello. Tell us your name. Do you have a story? I heard a sound.
I didn't hear it that time, but we'd have to hear it when we go back home and
We
analyse
heard it, didn't we? Like, we heard it live, but I didn't hear it on this. Is there anybody here who wants to talk? Did you just say no?
Yeah,
Like a no?
yeah. Quite sassy.
It was sexy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How many spirits are here? What did that sound like to you?
40.
40 or 14?
Yeah, I don't know, 14.
It's just had a lady come through with a sexy buzz.
Was it me?
What did she say?
No.
Yeah, she went, no,
Did she?
not with that movement. No.
Was that Lady Corbett that was speaking to Chris?
Lady Corbett, are you here?
any member of the Corbett family.
How's you know you said 40?
Someone spoke then.
The graveyard.
Sounds like it's a Chris. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Did you say that? Did you just say my name? We've got Jane and Haz here.
Hi, Minister.
Can you say their name?
That was a bit like house. Isn't it? Oh! Who's that? Hello, thank you for calling with us.
Who's the one who spoke on the black box on the wall?
Who's the lady trying to come through?
Is this your castle? That's going crazy, that is.
Yeah.
Alberta thinks she heard the name Chris.
Can I sit on your castle?
How many people are roaming around this castle right now? How many people are with us?
Are you all...
Oh,
I'm using... Oh God, every time I go to church. I'm using 150, which is quite fast, and FM. I have to say in my head, does it matter if you use AM or FM? Because I know some people go, oh, I'm going to swap to AM.
I prefer that. Let's try 200.
200.
Yeah. Let's get better. Yeah, 200.
Very quiet, isn't it?
Be patient.
What the hell?
What? What? What happened? What's the matter?
No.
What?
There's no one there, is there?
Let me poke the head round. It's red
No.
round. Did it vibrate?
It was like somebody kicked the wall.
Of course they couldn't kick the wall, could they?
No, I felt,
A human couldn't do that, like a living person couldn't do that.
you know, like if you was on the bench. So
Right.
you were sitting on a bench or somebody went like that.
Yeah.
That's how it felt, like the rock. Like I just felt like a
Sensation.
mad,
Like a vibration type.
Yeah, yeah. But it was like a voot
Right.
Hiya, Barbara.
in my bottom. On the stone I'm sitting on, like that.
Too much
Like a
information.
I never stop a spirit box session like that.
Alberta senses someone beside you.
This is going crazy. Oh my God, it's like it nearly wants to do it. This is nearly going full. You see it? It's hard to see on
I
that.
don't want to get too close in case I accidentally set it off. Oh, she said that before that happened.
Who said
She said I was right.
what?
Alberta.
Alberta?
Yeah. She said I was right. She knew someone was by you. Carry on.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel that through rock, innit?
No.
The rock's not even moving.
Carry on, I think. You're definitely getting some kind of responses, so I'd carry on.
First word I heard then was again.
Yeah, it did sound a bit like again.
There's somebody here who made the wall vibrate.
Or shake.
Is that me?
Yeah. Thank you if that was you. Giving us a sign.
Are you telling me to get off your wall?
Yeah, maybe they don't want you on it. Oh,
Hello?
dogs come to join. You can hear that
Hello?
sound. You can hear that sound.
Did you just see that dog, didn't you? What is that?
Welcome back down there. This is attracting the dogs. The high pitched
What was that?
the high pitched noise. It's almost like he said, hello. Are you talking to the dog?
Do you like dogs?
Another faint voice.
Use our energies and talk to us. That lady's voice again.
Sounds like she said enter.
You can enter me.
We're near there, Alberta.
Very quiet, isn't it?
Maybe move towards the entrance. Walk up towards the entrance a bit. Oh,
It's good.
yeah. Oh, it's good where we are. Okay, we'll stay here then.
Well, I don't know, because of you saying go to the entrance, and you said it's good.
Oh yeah, let's try it. It might be another delay. Just try it. You might want to show
You
us
like it
around.
here?
You think they want to show us around?
You know, there's multiple voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of people coming through. Thank you for talking to us. Do you like this castle?
Are you happy?
Thank you, lady. You should have a birthday, lovely.
Anything you hear, let me know. Are you happy? Who else is a port and who else? Who's the lady? Corbett. I think.
With Sir and Lady Corbett.
Lady Corbett.
There's a Vincent Corbett. Are you here?
Vincent. Mr. Vincent Corbett. Are you here?
Sir Vincent.
How quiet it is.
Thank you for sharing.
That's what I'm saying, sometimes, this is like when we've had amazing responses, it's blown our mind. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't get nothing.
No.
Oh, what did you say then?
What's that?
You know what I thought you said? Which is a bit weird because I face around here. Wheat. Is that, what is that? Is that corn or
That's
what?
cool.
Looks
Yeah.
like corn in the field. But we might think it's wheat, but maybe it's not corn. Just telling us the castle, what would have been the original castle entrance prior to the spirit box session.
Tell you what, Spirit, friends. Everyone's my friend, whether you're here or wherever you are. That's good. If you can see that black butt on the wall, on the castle wall, if you speak in it, by the time we get back, then I'll be your friend forever. Forever.
Oh,
It just said forever.
Wow. Thank you, that's awesome. Now you've got a friend for life.
It just said forever.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh. Hi, Maxine.
That's the same voice again, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I'll join you.
Sounded like it, didn't it? I'll join you.
It was a great day filming for YouTube and our Facebook live streams in 2 amazing locations. For our first recorded daytime investigation, we were not disappointed with the evidence we captured, and we hope you enjoyed watching our adventures. Please take a moment to like and subscribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Ghost Hunt Down.
Paranormal investigators Chris and Jane face their fears. Hunt the truth.
Looking for answers.
Investigating in the darkness. Check out Ghost Hunt Down on YouTube.
Follow @down_ghost on Twitter. Every location has a history and a story to be told. Keep calm.
Don't have nightmares.